I'm back again here, NANDITA Pandey, with this week's forecast, and the week that we are going to talk in this episode would be the week starting from 4th of December to 10th of December 2016. There has been a lot of developments of late, and I had already forecasted that there are possibilities of government retracting on certain decisions in between the last week of November and first week of December, and so it has been. There was earlier the demonetization stage where all the black money was to be submitted, and there was after 30th of December no new black money could have been submitted. But now, right now, what there has been a leverage that has been given out to people for 50%, with the taxes of 50%, you can convert it into white. So that's the kind of situation that is happening right now, and there are a lot more upheavals coming in. I still expect them. There have been few more accidents. There have been some major earthquakes happening. Still the supermoon ripple effect. As I said, 14th of November, the supermoon had occurred, and it at least take minimum of fortnight's time to reflect its repercussions or its effect, and so it has happened. There has been a tsunami-like warning near the Tamil Nadu area in Indian subcontinent, and so it has been in Japan and the Pacific coast in US. So all these I still relate to the supermoon effect, because the supermoon was absolutely very close to Mother Earth after a number of decades. So that was for how the celestial events have been occurring and been making a mark. Right now we're going to talk about and focus on the weekly forecast and how different sun signs are going to fare in this coming week. We'll start off with Aries, and for Aries, if I have to look into it, how are you going to fare? So I see some upheavals and yet some growth patterns coming in. Travels for you should be absolutely fantastic. I see a woman who is a glib talker and somebody who has good financial action going to help you out in your travel ventures. So that's the kind of forecast that I see. Professionally also, there are gains coming in from friends and family. They would be the ones who would help you out in this week to enhance your projects. Matters of heart, slow, subtle romance seeping in for you in this week. So there's a lot of softness coming in as far as your love relationship is concerned. Financially, it's an average week. There are possibilities of financial trips, which would be positive, but not as positive as you're expecting them to be. Health-wise, again, a very average week for you. So then nothing major happening except the career focus and the travel ventures. Overall, this is going to be a pleasant week for you. However, there is a little warning for you, because by the end of the week, I foresee some kind of emotional anxieties transpiring in your system, and also there could be some emotional rift with somebody who's close to you. So keep a watch on that. And the next sun sign, Taurus. Let us see how Taurians are going to fare in this week. And for Taurians, well, there are some celebrations happening for you, and I see you indulging into shopping spree or buying some products for your for decorating your home, or some changes that you would want to make at the home front. So that's the kind of transition I see you. Professionally, a fatherly figure seems to be helping you out and enhancing your projects in this week's time. You feel very lethargic all the week through. There are health issues that will keep cropping up for you, so you need to be careful. Even in matters of art, there is a sense of lethargy that seeps in your system, and you might not really focus towards the needs and the desires of your lovemate in this particular week. So that's a kind of phase that I see you undergoing. However, there are a lot of happiness coming from the family front. They would be like a pillar of strength for you. Overall, I would want you to avoid travels in this week. As the week comes to its end, there are subtle changes, positive changes happening. You might want to shift to a better locality, or there could be some changes as far as your professional area is concerned, where some good projects might come your way. So that's how I see the reflections for Taurians. And we move on to Gemini. Let us focus on how Gemini are going to fare in this week. Financially, you worked very hard, and this is a week to punch and gain from it. So that's how the projections are, and I see you strengthening your monetary status and good comforts coming in that area. Financially, there are growth patterns, but be careful about any movements, any decisions that you want to make, or any transition that you want to make in your career front. Not a good time for you to do that. Business trips should be completely avoided. However, otherwise also I see a lot of external interference in your travel ventures. So if you planning a travel or a holiday or a trip in this week, which is just seems to be unavoidable, you need to be careful about any kind of external influence influencing your travel ventures. Otherwise, you might be in a troublesome status. So that's the kind of projection I see. Matters of heart also, no outings for you. Not a good time to do that, and don't avoid making any major decisions. And there comes Virgo, health issues. Again, I would want you to be careful about as far as your health is concerned. In family life, there are certain stages where a little risk or a little firm decision is required. So this is the week where you need to put your foot down and you need to really decide and say, no, this is I don't want, this is what I don't want, and this is what I want, and this is what, if I want this, I'm going to take these actions to achieve it, and do that. When you do it, you will definitely be successful. And how does the week end for you? So I see a consistent approach from your end brings in a lot of gains as far as the weekend is concerned. And now we move on to Cancerians. Let us see how Cancerians are faring. And for Cancerians, good changes are coming in matters of heart. A lot of growth patterns, a lot of happiness seeping in your romantic life. Also, you'll be showered with a lot of love and attention from your loved ones in this week. Apart from that, professionally also, this indicates a very positive time for you and a contemplative time. That means you would want to focus on and take the experience of whatever you've learned so far in your past experiences from your projects and would weigh them down, their pros and cons down, and then now work on future strategies for what should be done in future. So that's the kind of mind frame I see you undergoing in this week. And financially, not a good time to make any new investments. Women can be very demanding as far as your finances are concerned, and they could also lead to a lot of expenses in your life. Health-wise, health of children can be a cause of concern. Similarly, the travel, again, I would want you to avoid, though not a very good time, and there could be a lot of promises that are being made in your travel area, and yet they are not being fulfilled. So have a backup plan whenever you're traveling, if you're planning to travel in this week. Family life is very pleasant, and there are possibilities of fun, family get-togethers, good enjoyable moments with your family. So that's the kind of phase I see you undergoing. As the week comes to its end, there could be certain level of doubts about certain projects in your mind or certain decisions in your mind. But don't doubt them. The tarot guides you to go bang on and hit and push into it and go ahead with it. It is going to be absolutely successful venture for you. So that was Cancerians, and we move on to next sun sign Leo, and let us see how Leos are going to progress in this week. And I see a lot of restlessness happening for Leo. Avoid being too frustrated. If you're too frustrated, automatically there would be certain things that you might utter or say, it's like an emotional outburst, and that could hurt your near and dear ones. That's the kind of projection I see. So be careful about what you say. And then secondly, feeling of restlessness, again sleeping your matters of heart also. It could possibly also be due to a lot of travels that you're making around this time and creating a lot of restlessness in your life. So feeling of a little jittery feeling that I see. Professionally, if you don't like something, if you don't approve of something, do say no, I don't want this. Because until or unless you express your feelings, there are chances that you would be taken for granted and you would be manipulated. So avoid manipulations and do learn to say no. It will be good for you in the longer run. Financially, again, you're busy in too many activities. You need to focus. The more focused you are financially, the better the results are. So that was the projection that I could see for Leo's week. Also ends with a lot of anxiety and could be related to a woman. So that kind of situation I saw. However, travels otherwise would be favorable for you. And the next sun sign that we go ahead with is now Virgos, and let us see how Virgos are being projected in this week. For Virgos also, this is a week where your wisdom and your inner intuitive instincts are at test. So use them with all your inner wisdom, with all of divine guidance, and then take and implement any decisions. If you do that, then only you're going to be successful. Otherwise, the entire week, something or other will crop up and will keep on triggering anxieties in your life. Matters of heart, I see a lot of emotional drifts and emotional anxieties in this week. It needs a lot of love and nurturing. Professionally also, emotional anxieties are pretty high, and there could be 2 projects which might demand your equal attention, and yet you're not able to give it, and a certain level of insecurity. You might feel that things are not really working the way you want to be, and probably something wrong would happen and trigger it down, which might pull you down a little further. And the same reflection goes in your financial area also. The kind of happiness or success you're looking forward to, this is not the right time. So no new investments should be made in this week. A little anxiety seeps in all through the week, but by the end of the week there are possibilities of some growth and some patterns happening. The only good thing that I can see is right now travels, which might give you some relief, not really great, but then some relief coming in that front. And now we move on to Librans, and let us see how Librans are faring in this week. Health-wise, Librans, you have a fantastic time coming in. You would know how to deal with your health issues and would know how to manipulate it to your favor. So that's the kind of projection that I see you undergoing. Similarly, the same kind of reflection is foreseen in your matters of heart also, where love and happiness comes in, seeps in softly and sweetly. Although initially there are some doubts that might kind of trigger your mind, but don't doubt them and just put them aside because they're of no use. If you embark on a certain decision as far as your love life is concerned, or if you want to take a holiday along with your loved one, please go ahead. This is going to be a fantastic time for you to enjoy your moments together. So that's the kind of reflection I see. Professionally, there are possibilities that creative ventures might turn out to be very demanding. Also, someone you are very close to, a motherly figure, a woman you share excellent rapport with, she could be a cause of concern for you in this week. So that is also adversely affecting your work front. So that's the kind of situation I see you in. Travels otherwise are avoided. However, by the end of the week, there could be possibilities of some new beginnings which would be positive and might reflect in a very, very positive manner for you. And that was Librans, and we move on to the next sun sign, Scorpios, and let us see how Scorpios are doing in this week. Scorpios are having a blast in this week. Good week for you coming up. It's quite a romantic week. I beg your pardon. Quite a positive professional feel, because the professional reflections are extremely positive for you. However, in matters of heart, there could be some anxieties. The kind of happiness that you're looking for is not coming in, and you're still waiting for the right time to occur and happen and bring you that kind of peace and love. See, the right time doesn't come until or unless you make an effort. So please do that, and things will work out in your favor. Avoid any outings with your loved one in this week. It's not going to be good. However, professionally, as I said, there are a lot of positive changes happening, and so are the same reflections happening in your financial front. You seem to be extremely busy in your financial area. The investments are bringing in a lot of gains, and there's also a fatherly figure who helps you out in your work front, which is reflecting positively in your financial front also. Matters of heart, there are emotional anxieties that you still need to deal with, and that could be that could come as some sort of setback for you. Travels are extremely favorable, yet in family life, if you're planning homebound travels, don't do that. It's not the right time to do. There's some anxieties that are again seeping in as far as your family is concerned. So there could be some emotional drift or ego clashes with one of the members of the family. That's the kind of reflection I see. Even by the end of the week, you are emotionally a little unstable because of a certain decision in your life or certain issues about your life. So something is pinching your heart and you're still unable to tap it down and release it. You need to let go. The moment you let go of, you will be blessed. And that was Scorpio, and now we move on to the next sun sign, Sagittarians, and this is the month for Sagittarians. Let us look into it and how Sagittarians are faring. And Sagittarians are having again a blast. Lot of good happiness coming in. Matters of heart, you struggle a lot of late and things were not really, they were a little hunky-dory, but this is the week when things will manifest for you and you would enjoy a joy ride along with your loved one. Professionally also, it's a beautiful week for you. A lot of good things happening in your professional front. There is a certain boost that is happening, and if there have been short trips, they're going to be favorable. If there are legal matters, they're also going to be favorable. They would turn in your favor. Also, your work would be appreciated and credited by even your contemporaries in this week. Similarly, financially, this is a week when you would feel a little more relaxed and happy with the way the things are flowing out. And it could be a property issue or something related to family might bring you financial gains. That's the kind of projection that I see. Health wise, you need to be very, very consistent in your approach. If you are consistent in your approach, health issues will definitely boost up and bring you a lot of positive gains. Family life is a subtle area where communication deadlocks are happening. You need to release those deadlocks and be more flexible in your opinions, and also listen to what others have to say. If you do that, you're going to be more happy and peaceful. And travels, if I have to look into your travel area, I would not recommend travel, especially by the end of the week. No travels for you. There could be a woman who could probably be a cause of concern while traveling. And we move on to the next sun sign, Capricorns, and let us see how Capricorns are being projected in this week. For Capricornians, you need to let go of a lot of things. If you are too stuck up in your relationship area and too possessive about your loved one, this is not a good thing to do, because there are possibilities that your partner might feel a little claustrophobic and suffocated. You need to give a little breathing space to your loved one, and if you do that, then there are lot of happiness and romance sleeping in your life. So be careful on that front. Professionally, a tough time for you. There could be possibilities of a news which might be a little disappointing, and similarly expenses are high and more because of emotional reasons. And there are also possibilities of joint investments not really giving you your due. Health takes off, and the more focused you are towards your health, the more outdoor activities that you are involved in will bring a boost to your health area. But you need to be very, very balanced as far as your family life is concerned, because I see some disappointments seeping in on that front also. And travels, if I look into that area, they are absolutely should be avoided in this week. Not a good time for you to go ahead with your travels. The week ends on a subtle note, because this is all a very transitory phase, and by the end of the week you should be able to slowly and steadily overcome your difficulties. And we move on to the next sun sign, Aquarians, and let us see how Aquarians are projecting. For Aquarians, good financial changes coming in. Lot of benefits for you happening in this week, and maybe the possibilities of new investments or some new projects that might bring in financial gains in this week. Lekin, as I said, there are possibilities of deadlocks in your work front. So there are possibilities of very, very strong deadlocks, and that could also be because of a youngster being too demanding in your life. Matters of heart, again, needs very firm decision. Whatever decisions you are taking right now, and even if your partner doesn't approve of it or is sticking on to it, go ahead with it, because if you do that, then you'll be more happy in your life. So that's the kind of projection. Health is just average. Follow your intuitive streaks and you'll be better off in your health situation. Matters of heart, as I said, there are certain anxieties, but then you need to be very firm. But in family matters, you need to be more futuristic, because I see subtle improvements taking shape in family. And also, again, not a good time for you to travel in this week. However, by the end of the week, you would feel more relaxed and happy, and possibly might also go out and be with nature, or a place, or maybe a garden full of flowers or something like that, where or maybe a children park where a lot of fresh energy is rotating around. And last but not the least, we move on to Pisces, and let us see how Pisces are going to fare in this week. Pisces have a lot more better situation than the rest of the signs. Matters of heart, I see a lot of celebrations taking shape for you, taking place here. Also, wedding celebrations are high on cards for Pisceans. So good week for you. Financially also, you are in a very, very strong and strengthened position. There could be some good news related to money matters that might knock your door this week. Professionally though, I would not recommend you to take any major decisions about any important events in your life. Again, not a very good time. Health wise, things will be fine and better. Children will bring in a lot of peace and happiness in life. But if I would say homebound journeys or journeys of any kind, or trips of travels of any kind, this is not a week for you to do that. Absolutely avoid it, because the more you if you intend to take it, I don't really see great growth in that front. Or there are also possibilities you might just have to work extremely hard to fulfill your desired goals as far as your travels are concerned. But that's again a very temporary phase, because by the end of the week again I see some good news knocking your door. Do spend time with children because they're going to be very therapeutic in your life. So this was the entire forecast for all the sun signs that we have spoken about. We do also do personal queries, and you can definitely contact us through my email ID soch.345@gmail.com. SOCH soch.345@gmail.com. I repeat it again, soch.345@gmail.com. Do send in your queries in my email ID. I do definitely love to answer all your queries. They definitely again are based on energy exchange, so that's the exchange that one has to do for getting the answers right. And also I would pray for all of you who are watching this program and this episode and who continue to watch it. If you subscribe to my channel, you will get updates about more celestial events that we keep talking about, and also the weekly forecast. We'll also be soon coming up with the yearly forecast for you, and what to do and what not to do in the New Year's time. So that's another thing that we'll come up with. There's some more interesting episodes coming in. So if you like the video, do subscribe the channel. It's written down there. There is a red subscription box. You can click on it and do subscribe. Anyone who subscribes or anyone who is even watching the video, I do pray for you all every day as a religion. So may you all be blessed. May you all have a better life and more harmony in your life, more divine energies flowing in your life, more blockages being expiated from life. All my prayers are for you right now. And stay blessed and have a blessed week ahead. Aatma Namaste.